Okay, hi everybody. This is part two of a three-part series. I already made one video if you look back for volume one. This is volume two of vintage 8mm movie covers. Monster Box volume two, Back from the Grave. And as I've said before, back in the 60s and 70s, there were 8mm reels where you actually had a projector long before there was VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, things like that. You had these little film boxes about this size, 200-foot reels, and you could watch about 10 minutes of a clip of different monster movies, either in silent, which most of mine was silent, but also sound. And I did have some sound, but these little abridged versions are what you had. And, you didn't have home movies. I think when we were kids, we would have went really crazy if there was ever a chance to have anything like this back when we were young. Anyway, this is the first one. This little box here, and I'm going to take them all out. And after this, eventually, just keep tuned, and eventually one day there'll be a part three, as I say. All right. First up, we've got Man-Made Monster. Really good Universal film. Castle Films, that was the name of the Universal monsters that were on Castle Films. So we're Abbott and Costello. And I always liked that little emblem there, little logo, the Mummy's Ghost. Radar Men from the Moon. When I was a kid, I really didn't really get into these, mostly monsters and stuff like this here. I didn't get into much either as a kid. American International, Vincent Price, The Pit and the Pendulum, Edgar Allan Poe. This was more on my speed. It conquered the world. One of those films that's still owned by Susan Hart, who is holding on to her few moments of fame and not letting them go. Back to Universal Classics for The Invisible Man. I love these covers. I mean, even and this one here, I love this. House of Frankenstein. And this was a movie that they called Frankenstein's New Brain. There is no such movie in the Universal canon, but they took Ghost of Frankenstein and they made two versions of it. They took like the beginning of the film, early scenes from the film, and made it The Trial of Frankenstein. That's another title. This one was later on in the film, the climax, and it's called Frankenstein's New Brain. Okay. Alfred Hitchcock's Frenzy. Back to Hammer. I love Hammer films, horrors. For Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. This is a movie that's so bad it's good. I enjoy this. Haven't seen this in a long time. I have it on DVD. Frankenstein Meets the Space Monster. No resemblance to Karloff. Nothing to do with the Universal Classics. Now we have Equinox. Dr. X. Giant Monster Fun with the Deadly Mantis. Now this is weird. There were, I think, clips from The Creature from the Black Lagoon in there, because this says science fiction film and it says Creature from the Black Lagoon there. I don't remember that one. Bucket of Blood. The Blob. Steve McQueen is a 30-year-old teenager, or however old he was. He certainly looks older. Boris Karloff, An Overlooked Gem, The Black Room. The cover doesn't do it justice. Karloff plays twin brothers, one good, one evil. It's really old, vintage Universal feel. It's not a Universal film, but it looks like it has a Universal film. It has a castle, black and white photography, atmosphere. Really worth seeking out. Abbott and Costello meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Reptilicus. Now this is one coming in later. This is from the 70s, 1970s. This is called Squirm. It's a 1970s film. And it says it's in black and white, this particular presentation here, but it's a color film, but sometimes they give you a color film in black and white on the reels. Son of Kong. It was great, growing up with this stuff as a kid. I mean, what did we know? We had these things and we really, really enjoyed them. The Werewolf, a 1950s movie that's sometimes overlooked. Not to be confused with The Wolfman. Bela Lugosi in The Return of the Vampire. This is a good one too, worth checking out. I think I did a review on this if you want to check it out, but it goes back a ways near my older videos on this channel. And I'm not sure what this is from. They're calling this one The Woman in the Coffin, but I really don't know what film that was taken from. So that's it. Oops, still running.